Right, next project. I have a very nice piece of quartz. Some people are going to be upset, but I'm going to facet this. And so the Collinan is a replica, obviously, of the Collinan, which is a very important jewel that's in the crown jewels. So that's what we're going to do. So the first thing is let's shape it up to see if we can get it something like this. There's very few instructions on here, just facet points. So there's no stop here and move to this, whatever. So let's have a go. So you know the procedure. First things first. Let's choose how we're going to orientate this. Here it goes. This is going to take ages, so leave it with me. Right, I'm cheating a little bit. I've printed out the shape and I'm trimming around the stone to save myself an awful lot of time. Let's see if this works, eh? Well, that idea of making life easier by cutting the shape out, printing it and sticking it on the stone and faceting round has worked very nicely. It's enabled me to get an exact centre point, or the centre point of this particular stone where the dot goes in. Flattened it off, an approximate shape. I'm not going to risk any more. I think I'm going to start putting some big facets in now. So that'll be tomorrow's job. We'll clean it off and stick it. I'm going to just stick a dot on, you know what I mean. Over and out for tonight. Right, so we're docked up. That worked well. The problem when I last tried to do this Collinan replica, Collinan 1 replica, was that on these instructions there are no facet to this line or facet to the culet. There's nothing. So what I need is some points of reference to start to try and make it accurate. The last time I did this it totally hashed out. So I've got one point of reference here. This is now stuck and that's a point of reference because it goes roughly through the centre of the stone. How do I get the centre of or where the culet's supposed to land? Because without that, and assuming this plan works as normal plans where you facet your pavilion facets to the culet point, I don't know where this point is. So just to show you what I did to find it, because some of you might find it useful, was I put the smallest dot I have on here. I then put a bit of blue tack, and because this is a fixed point and this is a fixed point, I could push this down, generate a small hole, and now you can see hopefully there that that's a centre point. I then got a marker once I'd taken this off and just forced the point through that hole, and that gave me that mark, which is directly in line. So I've now got two fixed points of reference where I can hopefully facet through to that point, assuming that's what you're supposed to do with this, because as I said there are no instructions. Okay, the stone's making me nervous because if I follow it to the culet point there's not going to be a lot of girdle, and I know this is roughly the right shape and size. So I'm sort of faceting it to a rough shape because there's a second load of facets that come in at this lower point here. And I've just got to keep experimenting with it until it looks right. So this is what we'll do. Incidentally, this is the weekend in the UK where temperatures are expected to reach 40. I daren't stand up because I'm in my boxers. It's too hot for anything else. Sorry to have planted that image in your brain, but hey, there we go. This is turning out to be a really difficult stone. So I'm trying to get the rough shape in and put in facets just to see where they lie. Nothing's working very well at the moment, but you just got to carry on cutting till it gets right, and that's what we're doing. So what I'm having to do with this is build a rough shape, put a facet in, put a girdle in, and then bring the second facet across, and hopefully we'll build it up like that as we go. But there's no pattern. It's a suck it and see thing. I know we're about there because there were 4 feet planted, because I'm trying to wiggle it and it won't wiggle. Little hints like that tell you where you are. Cool. Right, this has been an unmitigated disaster all the way through, so I'm trying to rescue it. Every time I think I've got a facet right, it's wrong, but we keep going. And we keep going until we get the right shape. So, how accurate this is going to be, I don't know. Will a nice gem come out of it? Of course it will. Will it be accurate to the plan? Doubt it very much, but we still keep going. Did our duty today visiting sons, daughters, granddaughters and grandparents. Before the big 40-41 temperature comes in. Tomorrow shouldn't be so bad, but Monday, Tuesday is supposed to be as hot as it is in Bombay. Mumbai, sorry. I was brought up in India and it used to be Bombay way back then. Lived in Bangalore, now Bangalore I think. Went to school in Ooty, which was a boarding school called Rushington, now called Hebron. Right, after several hours of work and lots of slightly fruity language, we've got the approximate shape with some very rough facets in. So what I'm going to do now is try and make it slightly more accurate, because it's not perfect by any means, mainly due to just the lack of instructions on it. But let's have another go at it, see what we can do. Almost done. This has been a real challenge, and it's not perfect, but I'm going to call it at that because I think that'll look quite good. A real challenge. But I'm now onto the crown, and hopefully that should be easier. But we'll just carry on with this and see how it turns out. This isn't a hobby you want to do if you have no patience, or if you hate trying again, because that's what you've got to do. You wouldn't facet a ruby like this because I'm using the edge, because the edge gives you an extra deep cut. You've got to know what you're doing, and it's making the professionals wince, because of course they cut rubies and sapphires and things. This is just quartz. Normally you would leave it just there, perhaps little movements, and it would take an extremely long time because it would be highly accurate. I'm going for a quick cut here. Don't try this at home, not unless you don't mind if the stone gets scored because you just missed that beat. If you can master it, you can cut quite quickly. But just in case, Prim would be pleased you did this in his school. It does work. I'm just going to clean off the top of the gem so you can have a proper look. As I said, this is only the first sort of rough cut. It'd be nice to see what it's like. Lots of glue on top of there. Need more lubricant. Right, we're just laying in the table to the level of the facets. Not perfect by any means, but this is a trial run to try and make a perfect Collinan. But I think it'll still be good looking stone. Anyway, let's lay in this. Right, we're at the polishing stage now, where the beauty of it comes out. Also shows the inaccuracy of your cuts.